righty. Here's the information regarding our public hearing on rates. Our goals,
Mr. Costello, could you hold on for a second?
I would.
All right, I think that we need to go back, we need a motion for approval of the agenda. That should be item 2.
We can do that. In the past, we've had the public hearing prior to the actual board meeting.
Okay, that's fine. Now I understand. All right, go ahead, Mr. Costello.
All right, for our public hearing that was advertised as required, we had the goals for coming up with the rates, trying to minimize our rate increases while covering inflation. The CPI for December 25 was 2.7, and what's proposed in this upcoming budget is a 3% rate increase only on our usage fees, not on our base fees and all of our other fees. The fire protection fee is also adjusted 3% to account for inflation. Last year was the first year we had adjusted that since 2015. So in order not to do that again, it's being adjusted this year as well, proposed to be adjusted this year. So here are the rates as on usage per 100 cubic feet. There we go. Per 100 cubic feet, we'll be going from $6.44 for water to $6.63. The base charge will remain the same. We go from $9.83 per 100 cubic feet for sewer charge up to $10.12, with the base sewer service charge remaining the same. And the fire protection fees go from $98.55 to $101.50, a 3% increase. $105.30 for the 8-inch or larger fire systems to $108.46. Then the remaining fees are all the same. The impact on our customers, and this is for, is $1.02 for 4,000 gallons per month, or if they have sewage, it would be also $1.55. There's the remaining of our fees posted here, and there are no changes in any of our deposits, our connection fees, our system development fees all remain the same. Again, our fees are based on meter size, using AWWA Manual 22 to determine that meter size for larger than a single-family home or any commercial development. So those are the proposed changes in our rates. Now, Mr. Chairman, we have a public hearing. Anyone can speak on that. And then we close the public hearing, and then we will act upon that later on in the agenda of the board meeting.
All right. Are there any questions for Mr. Costello? All right,
Mr. Costello.
Mr. Costello?
Yes.
I have a question.
To go back to that slide again of the change to a person's monthly water and sewer bill. You said it was based on 4,000 gallon
Which is an average usage per person, yes,
per month.
a month. We have some that are use more than some that use less.
Right. So basically you bill on 2 months cycles, right?
Correct.
So you're looking at a $5 increase in a 2-month billing
For a water and sewer customer, correct.
on 4,000 gallons.
On 4,000 gallons per month or 8,000 gallons. So one of the things that is different is most of the utilities in our industry are on the gallons, bill per 1,000 gallons. Older communities started with 100 cubic feet, and that was basically because the industry, when they first started metering, took gas meters, which were around prior to water meters, which were all based on 100 cubic feet of gas utilized, both of them being liquids. My understanding is this authority chose to remain in 100 cubic feet because the old mechanical meters, as the dial goes around, it doesn't go around as frequently per 100 cubic feet as it does on per 1,000 gallons. And it would give longer life, was the theory behind all of that. Our new meters are all now electronic, so that kind of throws that out. I would like to, when we do our AMI project, it's an opportune time to convert from 100 cubic feet to gallons, because our customers understand a gallon of water versus 100 cubic
Right.
feet, which is 7.48.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Any more questions? If not, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anyone wishing to speak regarding the 2027 water and sewer rate adjustments? Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And board, what's your pleasure? Yeah.
We need,
Would that be also on the new line that I'm requesting?
No, this has nothing to do with that.
all right, back to
Right. Let's see here. Well, if there's no other questions, I will make the motion that the Amherst County Service Authority Board,
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
yeah,
We've closed the public hearing. Now we'll go to our agenda for the
Oh,
meeting.
okay,
And we
okay.
address this during the agenda.
okay, I got you.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
All right. We've closed the public hearing. We will go to citizen comments or concerns. Anyone wishing to
No.
speak?
We need to approve the
Oh.
agenda, please.
You got me all confused. So
I
typically,
apologize.
I don't recall this. Normally, we do call to order, then approve the agenda, and then the public hearings below that. That's how we operate usually.
It's a little odd to me too, but
Seems
I'd
like
make a motion, we approve the agenda.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Martin. All in favor, please say aye.
One more slight interruption. When we prepared the agenda, there should be a different, item 9, which is a second opportunity for citizen concerns, comments. So
All
if
right.
you could add that to the agenda and amend it, I would.
Since I was on the prevailing side, I would like to reconsider the agenda by adding a second citizen comment.
Thank you.
All right, there's a motion on the floor by Mr. Martin. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we got that out of the way. So, all right, we'll move on to citizen comments. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak?
Shirley Collins, I come before you today to get an update on the request that I had put in for a water line on Crabapple Lane and what has been done on that.
All right, Mr. Castillo, have you looked into that? Have you
Yes,
did
we
some
have been
research?
We have been working on that. I've contacted the remaining 10 members of that street, and I've actually gotten 2 favorables for joining in the line, which makes us over where we need to as far as financially. I'm waiting to get a written confirmation from them. I've gotten verbals. I want to get a written confirmation, and then we will get the line into design and start trying to move it forward. I'll bring it to the board for approval and move forward from
Okay.
there.
How did you contact them?
Telephone.
Okay, so you contacted everyone?
I left messages on 3 of them and spoke to a couple, yes, and a couple
Okay,
were considering it, but not favorable at this time.
okay. What if you didn't have their phone numbers of the people that was there?
We researched, I used the best information I had
Okay.
to create.
What
phone
happened
numbers.
to sending out the letters?
I will send out letters, follow up,
Okay.
but I've been moving on this project.
So you say you have 2 favorable?
2 more favorables, plus
Okay.
plus the 2 of yours. We
Okay,
need
so-
3 to make it happen. I'm at 4. That's why I want to make sure I get some signatures, because I
Okay.
know I've got your
So
signature.
you have 4, or?
I will have
you have
4.
a- Okay.
And Mr. Castillo, just for clarification, that means you have enough to make it financially feasible to install the line.
That is correct.
So you're where the citizen would like for us to be at, correct?
Except for not far enough along.
I got
I'm
you.
sure Ms. Collins would like to see some dirt being moved and pipe being put in the ground, but we're not at that point yet.
Understood, thank you.
All right, but that's the latest update, what you have, and you're looking to go ahead and get some pen to paper, so
Yep.
it's legitimate.
That's correct.
All right, well, we appreciate it, Mr. Costello. All right, seeing no one else, we'll go ahead and close citizen comments, and we'll move on to employee recognitions of 2026. First item is the commemorative resolution ACSA 2026-3R-3.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this resolution is to honor the service of William David Fitro, who could not be here this afternoon as he's enjoying some vacation in Virginia Beach right now. David let us know that he was going to be retiring at the end of June, and he's served the authority over 36 years. David started as a utility service person, operator apprentice, and advanced to become a Class 1 licensed operator, shift supervisor, and safety coordinator, all those duties together. And he definitely is one that is relied upon for scheduling. If we need an operator, if there's an issue, emergency coming up where we need to start the plant early or anything like that, David is the go-to guy for that. And he has worked diligently serving the citizenry and our customers, providing good, clean water leaving the water treatment plant. So the resolution acknowledges that.
Well, Mr. Costello, tell him that we really appreciate his work. 36 years of dedication is a long time, a lifetime of work, and we appreciate all that he's done for this organization. Will you be having him back in here at a later time for us to present him with this resolution, or what are your plans?
We can do that. If you want to vote on it today, and then we can bring him in for a formal presentation, we'll have it framed by that time.
All right.
I move the Amherst County Service Authority Board adopt commemorative resolution ACSA-2026-CR-3 commemorating the retirement of William David Fitro for 36 years of service to the Amherst County Service Authority and Amherst County and its citizens. That's my motion.
There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Board.
All right, next we have, looks like another award for the Amherst, for the Virginia Department of Health Office of Drinking Water Silver Award.
That's correct. This is a Excellence in Waterwork Operations Performance Award. The Office of Drinking Water has a program where there's standards above the minimum standards for water operations, and there's 3 levels: bronze, silver, and gold. And with our staff, it is our 16th year to earn the silver award out of 17 years that the program has been in service. I'd like to congratulate our water operations team in earning this award, making sure that all of the customers in Amherst County Service Authority receive good, clean, potable water.
Well, we
There's no-
certainly appreciate.
No board action. No board action required.
No board action required?
No.
Well, we appreciate that. We know that you all work very hard and work long hours, you're on call. When things happen, you have to go and do them, whatever the weather is, right?
Yes, sir.
So we appreciate what you do, and it should give the community confidence that we're providing quality water and services to them. You know, we haven't had a whole lot. I often see boil water advisories quite frequently in the paper. I mean, in a lot of locations. And I shouldn't probably say this, probably should knock on wood, but, you know, we're very limited in that, and we did fairly well. I know sometimes you can't help it. You have a water break, and it happens, and it gets contaminated. But, you know, I do notice that you run a really good organization, and we appreciate what all of your people do.
You have a very good team behind this organization that work really hard as a team to make things happen.
And it shows. So congratulations.
All right. Next, we have the consent agenda. We have the draft minutes for May 5th, and we have the financial report.
There's an additional page to your financial report, an update on our cash position. Had to publish this prior to receiving the May 31st data. Our current bank account has $812,681.58, and our investment pool has $8,676,628.80. And I will note that we had budgeted for $240,000 of interest income, and we are now over $287,000.
Good news.
Yeah.
So, now there are some significant expenses will be coming out in June. One of them is for the James River bank stabilization project. We actually received the money before the check got cut this time. So, at the end of the month, so you'll see $270,000 come out of that for that project. And then we have some debt service payments also that will be coming out in June. But from a cash position, the authority continues to improve.
Well, good. That's excellent news. Getting the money early, that's kind of unusual, so.
I have finally gotten well-trained on the ASAP.gov, where I had an acronym for it, is now as soon as possible. I turn it in, it gets approved, and the next day the money's been wired to our bank account. So we're working on the system finally.
Or do you have any questions on either one of these items? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Campbell. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion, are there any noes? Motion carries. All right, we have two action items on the agenda. We have ACSA Resolution A001-R. Let's see, Mr. Costello?
A1R deals with approval of our rates as well as approval of our operating and capital budget. Presenting to you a lot of information you have seen already. There are some small changes. There's one particular small change. But then again, here's our financial policies that was approved, and we're working under those policies. Our current debt obligations, and I like to point this out. At the beginning of July 1, 2025, we were over $11 million $21 million in debt. We have brought that down to $8.9 million. So we continue to whittle away on that. Now we're making payments on 3 issues that the authority has done. 2 of them are through the Virginia Resource Authority. One is through Truist as a refunding. And then the city of Lynchburg is our payment for the debt service of that facility. Our goals, they have not changed. I've added one little thing here that and you'll see it in the expense item. The county county government offers to their employees a match to the 457 of up to $100 for every 100 that they would put in. The issue is the longtime employees are VRS Program 1. There was a brief time when there was a Program 2, and now that everyone is, what's the term? Hybrids. Everyone else is hybrids. Most of our employees are hybrid employees, where they're putting their retirement goes into 457. Some of them are putting in minimum amounts. Others are putting in more. This is to encourage them to be able to save for their retirement. It's a program that I was used to in other localities. I was pleased to see last year that the Board of Supervisors enacted this. I would like to offer that to our employees as well. And it shows up in our expense. So here is our operating budget, where previous number you saw was $433,000. It's $26,000 was if everybody participated to the fullest amount, that would be our cost for the match program over a year. Again, our consumption continues to trend upwards. Here are the rates that we discussed at our public hearing. And we get into the operating budget. Our revenues, there's no change in that slide that you've seen previously. And a highlight, there isn't currently not a line item for the match program, but it was installed into the payroll clearing item where a lot of our personnel costs are budgeted right now. RDA is not dividing them the way they should be. So it went up the $26,000, which brought our grand total, expenses up 26,000, our grand total down the same amount. That did it, transferred over into our capital budget to reduce the amount of revenues possible for the capital, which then in turn the projects did not change. It reduced the total balance by the $26,000. Showing the change there in the revenues. Projects are all the same. Our principal, debt service principal, which goes into the capital, is the same. So are there any questions on the budget?
Any questions?
Nothing changed based off the last.
Other than that one increase in expense. That is correct.
All right. Board, is there any further discussion regarding the budget and the additional $26,000 for the retirement 457 program? I think that's a wise use of money, and if we're offering it through the county, then it would be, my suggestion that it should be offered to you all. So I'm supportive of that. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2026-001-R.
So moved.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Martin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So I
Thank
have
you,
a
Board.
question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So that resolution just set the rates. It did not adopt the operating or capital budgets. Shouldn't there have been a separate resolutions for those?
It was inclusive, I thought.
The resolution didn't adopt the budget. I just read it twice,
Okay.
3 times actually. I mean, I can read it again.
And there was an error in there. It was we do need a motion to adopt the budget, both operating and capital.
All right. So on your recommended motion, it talks about adopting the FY '26 operating and capital budget as presented, effective July 1st. So that needs to be included.
Well, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
A question for the attorney. Shouldn't there have been a resolution prepared that adopted the budget and the operating and the operation that listed out how much it was for and so forth?
Yeah, typically you have an independent resolution for the budget itself, setting forth all of the line items.
So I'm not sure how we adopt the budget without those.
I recall last year, please look up, Richard, how we did it last year. I just want to make sure we do it right. I agree, I concur with that.
I mean, I know what we're would be adopting. I think that's fine, but I think it does need to be spelled out in the official.
Yeah, so I mean, I think if the board's comfortable in just simply adopting the budget as it was originally presented, and then the executive director can draft up an appropriate resolution to have that signed after the fact.
Okay.
That's a possibility too.
Well, I would make that motion then, Mr. Chair, that we adopt the operating and capital budgets as submitted, provided that the director brings back an ordinance outlining all the revenues and expenses totals for signature by you as the chair.
All right. Any more discussion? There's a motion on the floor by Mr. Martin. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next we have the acquisition of parcel 148A82. This is the future site of the Amherst County Service Authority headquarters,
Operations Center.
operations center.
Correct. And Mr. Popovich and I have been, Mr. Popovich has been working on putting together the purchase contract, and he discovered that we need to actually get a survey done on this property.
Yeah, the property that is being considered is a portion of a much larger parcel that was acquired by the county years ago, I think in '95. And sometime thereafter, in the late '90s, the Route 130 extension to the bypass ran smack dab through the middle of that particular parcel of land. So I have suggested, in order to be absolutely accurate in terms of what is going to be purchased, that an actual survey be done. And Mr. Castillo has indicated that that will be done and be made available, and then we can proceed with formal documentation and public hearings.
So you would still like us to authorize to submit a formal offer, or do you want to wait until that is done? You know,
From my perspective, I would like authorization, but if the board is not comfortable with that until we see the final, it's a board decision.
I don't have a problem with him pursuing purchasing the property and doing an offer. Obviously, to finalize any of the sale or that type of thing, the survey will have to be done. But, I mean, I think our offer is what it is.
all right. Any further discussion, board?
No, I'm sure you'll need that for title side and everything of that nature, so,
Absolutely.
yeah. I'll move forward with contract of everything, so.
All right. Well, I'll make a motion that the ACSA board authorize the executive director to submit a formal offer on behalf of the authority to purchase parcel 148A82. There's a motion on the floor. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Mr. Costello, you have your informational report.
Got some things that are hot off the press here. I need to bring to the board's attention. All right. Want to bring you up to speed on our James River Stream Bank Stabilization Project. And these pictures were taken this morning. You can see it's at the end of the project. The contractor is installing that second culvert as we requested them to do, and they will be wrapping up on their cleanup. The project has come out extremely well. You can see how well protected the stream bank is, as well as providing us with access roadway for us doing maintenance as well. Now, this roadway actually ties into the end of the Sarah Lou Trail at River Edge Park.
So will that become part of the trail?
That's its intended purpose. It's secondary purpose,
Very nice.
secondary purpose.
Mr. Castillo, is that asphalt?
No, it is 21As that have been compacted. There, if you see the end here, there's actually a bobcat that was moving the gravel around and leveling it up, and then they had a roller.
I see the lines.
There's little tracks here where they ran the bobcat up and down just to make it look like a construction road. Here's the good news. This is payment number 6, which we've received the cash for. There's retainage, so remaining on the contract is $180,000. I have not submitted anything for engineering fees so far on phase 2, and that's the amount that we can ask for reimbursement from. And as well as this is phase 1, because phase 1 was so squirrely, I did not ask for reimbursement on it at the time. It's construction costs, wanting to make sure we didn't have any cost overruns on the actual project. It gives me a balance of $120,000 available. In meeting with EPA yesterday, they would love to see us spend this money and not return it. One of the things that we've talked about, and I've asking for their review and approval of, is to extend our maintenance access roadway. For $126,000, we can't really extend much on the stream bank itself with the ballast rock and all of that, but we can continue our roadway down to make sure we have access to be able to maintain our sanitary sewer main that goes down through there. With that, we can actually do the CCTV inspections, make sure there's no blockages, no failures, and protect the environment that way. EPA will need to approve this, and then I will be bringing this forward as a change order to this contract to use the remaining funds that are available, grant funds that are available. So that's, if the board is agreeable to that, that is the course I'll be recommending. Here is the big news, current big news, is we started our Ivanhoe wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation project. On Tuesday, we took the plant offline and began doing a pump and haul around the plant. We began pumping and hauling all of the wastewater that was in the tankage, both clarifiers that had sludge in it, as well as the aeration basin that had sludge in it, and the holding, what the staff called holding, which was a digester, had sludge in that. We continued into Wednesday, moved sludge from the treatment plant, and discovered that there was about 4 or 5 feet of rock and sludge in the holding tank bottom that had to be vacuumed out, as well as some other grit and sludge in the aeration tank. This facility had not been cleaned out and inspected in 35 years. So, but if you all recall Wednesday evening, to quote some folks, a toad strangler came through and knocked out a lot of power. A lot of rain came down in a very short period of time, but it did not impact our work at the time. Thursday, we continued our cleaning, finished it up approximately 7:30 p.m. Now, here are some of the pictures. This picture on the left is the digester, and you can see the heavy rock and sludge in the bottom where the contractor was vacuuming it out. This middle picture is our aeration basin, and in this area here was a heavy grit deposit. Staff actually had to get down into the tank and manually break that up to be able to vacuum that out. And then the clarifier was cleaned out successfully. So on Thursday evening at 7:30, got a joyous picture was sent by Chris Cunningham. All is clean. They took a pressure washer, made it ready. We finished a day ahead of schedule. Everything continued normally on Friday and Saturday. Staff went by to make sure everything was, that the plug was holding and Our contractor was pumping and hauling, and there were no issues whatsoever. Sunday afternoon is when things went sideways. The utility mechanic reported to Chris that the plant had come out of the ground.
What?
The tank had come out of the ground, it had floated.
Way out of it.
You had underwater, water underneath of it.
We had a boat. We had a boat, a steel boat. We called additional staff in. Both Richard and myself were on the scene. We excavated a pit beside the tankage and began pumping groundwater out. We had to address the electrical because it pulled the wires apart and was causing damage that way. Like I said, we put a temporary sump pit in. We installed it. The groundwater went through a sediment containment bag, as well as a silt fencing just to protect the environment. That's the last thing we needed, was someone to see this and call us in. And then I prepared an email to you on Sunday evening. Here is the tank. This is the ground line right there where it was. This whole tankage here and here was at ground level. Now there has been some subsiding around it, but you can see how far out of the ground the water pressure. This is our chlorine feed system here. The sewage wastewater flowed out of the clarifier into this chlorine tablet feeder, went around and then back through a chlorine contact chamber. When this plant was installed in the late 60s, gas chlorine was a disinfectant method, and there was no dechlorination. This is our dechlorination tablet feeder here, and at this point, that's still together, and it's holding the tank in the ground. Later on, it left. I was standing on top of this, inspecting the electrical and the controls. Richard, as a licensed electrician, he cut the wires to make sure that everybody was going to be safe. Breakers were turned off and all of that. And at the time, I heard it rumble, and I could either have jumped or I ride it, and it lifted it up a foot while I was on the tank. So Monday, we contacted Commercial Steel Erection to look at trying to relocate, lift this out of the hole that we have and relocate it so we can do the excavation we need to be able to put it back in. I am pleased to say that there is no structural damage to the steel tank, no twisting, no buckling or anything like that. Years ago in my career when I was with Aqua Virginia, we had a similar thing happen at Lake Holiday outside of Winchester, where Hurricane Irene came through. We had the tanks out of service, had a tank out of service for reinstalling some aeration diffusers, and Hurricane came through and put all excess water and floated the tank out. When this storm hit on Wednesday, I went by Thursday, which is where the pictures came from, because I was concerned that it might float that tank, and it didn't. And Friday it didn't, Saturday it didn't. This was a surprise to us that it came out on Sunday. It took that long for groundwater to come down the hill, I guess, and get underneath the tank. We had unlimited electrical has called to address the wiring to make sure everything is disconnected properly and the area is safe. Virginia Site Works, local contractor, we've brought them in on site to see about what kind of assistance they could be if our staff could not handle any, the reinstallation of the plant. I contacted Hurt and Profit, got on their schedule for the surveyors to come out, as well as start getting some calculations together for us regarding buoyancy and how to, when the plant goes back in, keep it from coming out until we get it back in service and full of water. When it's full of water, it's not going anywhere. I did contact our insurance provider, Vacor. So we've started a claim on this. It should be covered. The costs regarding the remediation should be covered on this. Also notified DEQ. As we put together our work plan for taking the plants offline for the rehabilitation, we created a detailed work plan that they approved for us. So I had to notify them that we were extending a couple of the sections in that work plan, particularly the pump and haul, till everything came back together. And we have received approval since then. Then that afternoon, Monday afternoon, Unlimited came by and took care of all the electrical issues. This morning, 7:30, Hurt and Profit, their surveyors, and Mike Wilson met out on site to begin, one, seeing exactly what property we own, what we can utilize as far as taking the tank out and moving it someplace to set out of the way for construction, as well as how to deal with things as we move forward. So that's the additional information. I want to give compliments to our team for the way they responded, the professional manner they came in, got in there, figured out some things to take care of, relieve the pressure. None of our team members have seen anything like this before. I do appreciate that the last time I had that call, it was 3 o'clock in the morning when I answered the phone. Hey, boss, your plant walked off. So.
Yeah, I've been noticing a loud humming noise from near where my parents live, because they live up the hill, I mean, it's a good ways away, but you can hear. I was like, what is that humming noise? I was like, why is it so loud over there?
That was.
That answers my question.
It was the vacuum truck, the septic truck, as well as the Vector that we utilized to get the heavy debris out.
Yeah, we see this, I mean, in pool construction, sometimes you'll be digging a pool or fixing a pool, and you'll have groundwater come in and float liners, and you have to put it's called a well point, to take that excess water away, so you can actually put them in. And that sits right near the creek in a bottom, which is gonna have lots of groundwater. And when you clean that out, it just built up over time. And like you said, we lost power, that night after that storm, hail, everything else. So it was kind of we appreciate everything you did. This was a major emergency, and it seems to, anyway, you're working on it, but nothing catastrophic has.
No one was injured in anything, and there was no
flow.
environmental issues with this project at all.
No flows into the creek or anything like that.
Correct.
So how long is it gonna take to fix?
Once we figure out, get the unit out, and we'll determine how much excavation we have to do and how to do that safely. And then once it's put in, it shouldn't take too long to plumb in the line from the manhole to the plant and put in some new structures, some precast structures. So I'm thinking 2 months.
So you're gonna be hauling
We are hauling.
for 2 months? And we're,
Hoping not that long, but yes. I'm good.
I'm guessing the manhole has enough
We're there twice a day, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
and where are you taking it?
It goes to the city of Lynchburg.
There's a cost involved in that, I guess.
Yes. We have budgeted for some of this cost with the project, but this additional cost, we'll ask our insurance carrier to cover. It's legitimate remediation costs.
I'm just gonna ask, and I'm really not trying to be difficult, but who was doing the work?
Our staff did the cleanup.
Oh, so it was our staff doing
Our
all
staff
the
did
work.
cleanup.
I got you, okay.
In the preparation for Allied, I'm sorry,
Art,
Art,
that was the name of the company doing the polystyrene?
yeah. Once we had it cleaned, they were coming in, and within a week, we were going to be back in service.
Got you, okay.
And we,
Same thing with septic tanks and stuff, and you reference pools, but, yeah, okay.
and with that, I mean, Sunday evening, we contacted the contractor and said, you probably don't need to bother coming. And we'll be meeting later this week to come up with another schedule, because we're also going to do West Briar. But until we get this one squared away, we probably should not tackle anything else.
Excuse me, Mr. The contractor approved was Advanced Rehabilitation Technologies, for the record.
What were they coming in to do, Tom?
They were coming in to prep the steel, and then they have a polystyrene coating that they spray on it, which improves the strength of the material, of the metal, as well as give us life that is, let's say, non-corrosive.
There's a plan now, I guess if it's got to be moved, they can do that while it's out
They
of the hole.
they should
or
be able to
something
do
like
that work while it's sitting on top of the ground. They'll just have to get a ladder to get over in there.
Well, we appreciate the work, and I know that's been a big deal dealing with that, so, sounds like.
I wanted you as the board to see and appreciate what's going on over there.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure it was all hands on deck and scurrying around trying to figure out what you're gonna do and do it right and not screw it up, so we appreciate the work you put in.
The team has worked very, again, you guys, the authority has a very strong team.
All right.
One other thing I'd like to bring to your attention, you'll see it in tomorrow's News in Advance. We actually have a permit that's going out for public notice on our VWP. It is the volumes that we asked for. There was an issue, I want to make sure that there was documentation as to how we came up with our volumes. It was not in the permit. They referred to the tier 1, tier 2 modeling. That's being corrected, so all of that is moving forward. We did, on the 28th, continued our unidirectional flushing program down Woodridge to the Ashmont and Windridge subdivisions. Everything was found in working order on that section. And just as FYI, later this week, they were going to do it later this week, but probably next week, we'll continue down into that area off of Windridge, Appleway subdivision, Brandywine subdivision, and Winesap from where it intersects with where it intersects and goes north at the bridge there to the end of the line. So we'll get that area cleared out as well, continuing to focus on making sure that hydrants are functioning properly. And we're nearing approval for the Route 210 12-inch water line from VDOT. We got brief comments back from them. We'll be resubmitting. We should have that approval. And then once that's approved, we will be putting that project out for bid, along with the Route 130 12-inch water line. On our water line extension and sewer extension programs, a new one has shown up out at Father Judge Road. This area, 13 residents have signed a petition asking for public water service to be extended. It's approximately a mile of water line that would need to be installed. The significant issue is it is just on the other side of the comprehensive plan water design designated growth boundary. I directed the citizens to reach out to Mr. Creasy. I knew they were planning on updating the comprehensive plan. But it is an area with poor and failing wells. I'm kind of at a loss. of direction on this. I know our role is to serve, but I also understood when I arrived that there were planning growth areas so that we wouldn't just be running water lines willy-nilly everywhere. So if you'd like to think about where we should go with this, then we can talk about it at our next meeting. That would be fine. But I did want to make you aware of that issue.
Well, 13 homes for 1 mile of water line?
Correct. And in the package, there is a map showing the area.
And who would bear the brunt of that cost?
It would be under the program, 50% of it would be under the property owners. The 50% of, if we have the funds, the authority would. That's the way the current
I
extension.
mean, is there no ratio on feet of extending for how many units?
I've not found that in the program. We can work on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 13, are they saying that they would want it, or are they willing to pay the tap fees? Is that how that would work?
They want it. If the board is I've not worked much farther than this because it is beyond the boundary. I can come up with a cost estimate and see what it truly will cost, so that what the authority's portion, what the individual's portion would be. I think this came before the board, my understanding, a number of years ago, and at that time it was, once a dollar sign showed up, interest went away pretty quickly.
Yeah, I could see that. It'd be cheaper to dig new wells than it would.
But the issue is the area does not have,
I guess for the service authority, there would have to be so many homes to generate the return on the investment.
Correct.
For the extension of the line. And, you know, as far as whatever the county zoning is, that it's gonna allow so many units per acre, right? Those two should kind of match. So I mean, I would think that we would want to extend water and sewer where it's financially feasible for the service authority to do it, but if it's not,
okay.
that's just my opinion. I mean, if it's not financially feasible to do it, and it sounds like outside the growth boundary, it's not. And even if they extended the growth boundary, it doesn't sound like it would be feasible unless you had a pretty good idea about how many other homes could be built within that area.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's all A1. I'm pretty sure all that
Yeah.
area.
So that's a lot of water line.
It is. It is. Okay. Staff continues to work on completing all the
Tim, what,
sorry.
just before we move on that, what like sparked this? Is it a subdivision, or is it because
it
of?
is dry wells
It's a dry well issue.
or
So
limited wells.
what about
1 or
the-
2 gallon a minute wells.
what about the grant that was in place? I mean, has all those funds been used up in regards to water and sewage expansion? I can't remember what that was.
The ARPA funds
ARPA funds.
there was 2 pots of ARPA funds. One was designated for the Gateway Region sewer extension. And there's an additional $500,000 for that, so 1.1 is remaining on that. The other ARPA pot was for sewer extensions, and our Berkshire project will pretty much utilize the remainder of that. Staff continues to remediate the findings of our VOSH inspection. We have a very good working relationship with that. And Adam Wilburn has taken on the responsibilities as our safety coordinator with David's retirement. And he has jumped in to continue building a working relationship with our VOSH representative. And he also continues to be a plant operator as well. But that's getting us down where we need to be. And then our EPA inspection, we did receive favorable response on that. And we're moving forward, getting all those items completed We will submit the completion report to EPA, and that should go smoothly. And that's what I have in my information report.
Well, thank you, Mr. Costello. You've been a busy man. We appreciate all the work you and your staff have put in, and thank you for bringing us up to date on all those items. We also have now a citizen comment from the public. We'll open that up. Seeing no one, we'll close that, and we'll go to members from matters. Members from the Service Authority Board, Mr. Gillespie. Mr. Campbell.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Before the meeting, I spoke with Mr. Castillo about the Gateway project. If we can have Mr. Morcom and his partner possibly coming before the board and maybe giving us an update on where they're at, what they're doing. I've been on this board for a few months, and I've yet to see any of either of them. I'd kind of like to see and hear from them, if that's the board's wish.
Board, I'd be fine with that. It would be good to see them in person to give us an update on their progress. I think that's incumbent upon them to do that. So I'm fine with it, board.
Agree, yeah.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Campbell?
That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Martin?
No, sir, thank you.
I have nothing as well. We have to go into a closed session for the executive.
Prior to that, Richard passed me a note. Historically, the authority follows what the County Board of Supervisors does on meeting in July. We're scheduled to meet on the 7th of July, which is a Tuesday after the 4th of July holiday weekend. With things going on, it'd probably be good to have a July meeting. I'm just trying to make sure that we're all, at least can have a quorum. I know some people take vacations around that time.
Off the top of my head, I'll be here.
Yeah, I may or may not. I don't know at this point. Mr. Martin, do you?
What was the date again?
July
July
7th?
7th is a Tuesday.
Oh, I'll be here, but don't we typically cancel that meeting?
Yeah.
Is there any
Historically,
reason-
we have.
I'm sorry?
Historically, we have, but
Well, that,
Pressing need to have it?
can you keep us up to date? You know?
I definitely will keep.
Keep us
keeping
up,
you-
I would rather, I'd rather not have it, but, keep us up to date and abreast of the situation that we have,
That's fine. I just,
Except that Mr. Perro's and my birthday are the next day, so you could bring us a birthday cake
be honest.
on the 8th.
My birthday is the 7th.
Oh, well, there you go. We might as well just have a party.
All right, so-
Awesome.
Okay, well,
so we'll just wait. I guess we'll discuss this at our board meeting.
if you would just state that you will follow the direction of the concurrence of the Board of Supervisors.
All right, we will, I'll make a motion that we follow the Board of Supervisors on the July meeting, whether or not we have it or we do.
Thank
A motion is on the table. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Anything else, Mr. Martin? All right, I have nothing as well. We're gonna go ahead and go into closed session. I make a motion pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1 of the Code of Virginia, 1950 as amended, that the ACSA Board go into closed session to discuss Executive Director's annual performance. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Sir?
5 minutes today. Tried to get Chris to do 45 minutes last time. He went
Well, where'd David Pugh go?
back out the door.
He's got to bring us out of closed session.
All right, y'all's timers are good to go.
Thank you. Mr. Pugh, I'd make a motion that the ACSA Board certify by the recorded vote that to the best of each board member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempt from the open meeting requirements of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act and identified in the motion authorizing the closed session were heard, discussed, or considered during the closed session.
Mr. Gillespie? Mr. Campbell? Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Mr. Pugh, aye. So we will now, let's see here. That's it, guys. I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Martin. All in favor, say aye. Motion carries.